to episode 3 of the BRASH Sports Podcast, brought to you by lawyers. Do you or someone you know have a minor inconvenience? Do you want to make a fortune at someone else's expense? Perhaps you have mesothelioma. Give lawyers a call today and we'll help you point the finger at someone. With lawyers' help, you can shake them down for all they're worth and still have thousands left over to pay the fee. For a free consultation, dial 1-800-LAWYERS for blood-sucking pricks, and be sure to use promo code BRASH to take an extra 10% from your victim. Lawyers, we're on your side as long as you can make us rich. I'm Josh. I'm joined here by my best friend, Brandon. And
what's up, Josh?
Ready to get into week 2 of the NFL, episode 3. Lot to dig into, man. We got to recap. We got to look forward. Let's fucking steer this ship in the right direction, because I feel like we already kind of went off the rails. Getting up and running. Just getting up and running. We kind of went off the rails. So
it's just getting started. We're just getting started. The NFL season, Josh, is just getting started. I mean, what an opening weekend, my friend. That was a blast.
It really was, man. One of the best I can remember, and I don't remember much of it.
Well, yeah, that's right. You were partaking.
I was 30 beers deep in Nashville, just trying to find my hams.
Well, you had cause for celebration. Your Giants with that big upset, surprising win. I did not pick the Giants. You did. You went with your heart, and it paid off with your week 1 picks. So I guess you're going to keep that streak alive. Josh going to keep going with his heart. We'll see when we get there.
Stay tuned to find out.
Well, let's just jump into some little headlines that we got since our last episode. Obviously, we're jumping right into the NFL in week 1, and unfortunately, it starts off with some sad news. My MVP pick, Josh, doesn't look like it's going to pan out the way I had hoped with the Steelers. TJ Watt, he suffered a torn pec in their 23-20 overtime victory. Another surprising upset, that one over the Cincinnati Bengals, but he doesn't need surgery. So they're saying he's expected to miss at least 6 weeks, but after that, we could see a return of TJ Watt, but I still think that puts quite a damper on his MVP hopes.
I would imagine so. Like, he already had such an uphill battle to climb. And he had a hell of a game too before he tore his pec. Like, I think he had a sack, an interception, a few tackles. Like, he was already doing good things. And it's a damn shame to see him go. I mean, I hate the Steelers as much as the next guy, but TJ Watt's just a solid guy. So you hate to see it.
Yeah, I do think missing 5 to 6 games in the regular season pretty much disqualifies you from the MVP running. But speaking of which, Dak Prescott, he suffered a fractured thumb in their defeat to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was in the fourth quarter of their 19-3 loss. His throwing hand was hit. I saw this when it happened. Linebacker Shaq Barrett. And it hit it square. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they went for a really weird high five and it didn't land properly.
Yeah, it was.
And one of them was a little pussy and broke his thumb. So Dak is gonna miss some time. He's not being placed on IR. So that would have required him to miss a minimum of 4 games. I don't understand it. I think with a fractured thumb on your throwing hand, that would justify at least a 4-game absence while you heal as the franchise quarterback who just signed a new deal, right, Josh?
Yeah, so Stephania Bell, I was watching, she did a quick segment on why there was such a sudden turn of events for like the expected timeout that he'd be missing. So he already had surgery, and she said that the recovery time is a lot different if you don't get a pin inserted versus if you just get like a small plate and a couple tiny little screws. It can help heal it a lot faster. So there's her speculation, because she's like medical expert for ESPN or whatever. She said that people thought he was going to have to go in and get like a fucking rod inserted into his thumb, which would take
Oh.
at least like 6 weeks to heal. But he just had a small plate and a couple screws, which should be a lot faster. That's her speculation. So the surgery wasn't as invasive or as intense, and the recovery time is going to be a lot less. But still, yeah, I mean, fuck, dude. If I fractured my thumb, there's not many things I would be able to do, let alone go out and play fucking football. Like, that's the last thing I'd want to do. So I don't know. We'll see how it pans out. I expect him to miss a month at least. But
not putting him on IR. I mean, that's wishful thinking. I mean, that's
right.
It's your franchise guy. It's his throwing hand, for crying out loud. Come on, Cowboys.
Jerry Jones being a stubborn old cunt.
Get your stuff together, Dallas. Come on now.
Yeah, Dallas.
In the basketball world, got the basketball Jones, but not good news for Robert Sarver. I wasn't familiar with this guy before this news broke, but
I used to be a big fan.
Oh yeah, big Robert Sarver.
Yeah, dude. Had him on a T-shirt. I used to, buy tickets to his shows, everything. Yeah, big
Nice.
Robert Sarver fan.
Yeah, you have the Robert Sarver biography in your library, don't you?
Yep.
You preach by that book. I'll tell you, man. But you might have to toss. You might have to toss it in the trash because the owner of the Phoenix Suns and Phoenix Mercury, he's been suspended for a year and fined $10 million. For him, $10 million is, he'll find that in a couch cushion. But he's going to be stepping away. Apparently, there was some in-depth investigation going on the NBA side that found that he used some racist language and just had some inappropriate comments towards female employees. I found it interesting that they specified that he was found to have used the N-word at least 5 times. It's quite specific. And
Really?
I'll tell you, if he's using the N-word 5 times, that means he uses it all the time. Okay? I don't care what anybody says. If he's on record saying it 5 times, then he's willy-nilly with it, and it's all over the place. Goodbye, Bobby Sarv. Take that year away. Gather yourself.
Yeah.
Figure out what you're going to do. You just lost 10 mil.
Stop being racist. Why is that such a hard thing for people to figure out? Just stop being racist. It's not that hard. It's not.
Oh, he was racist and misogynistic. So he's the full
package. I don't care as much about, but. Oh.
Okay, so and some fun. Yeah, I saw that coming.
Yeah, they were waiting. They knew it.
Watch yourself. You remember what happened to John?
Yeah.
Everyone's walking on eggshells here at Brash Sports. Back to the NFL. Just some fun little story I saw. The Browns have decided to make a change with their midfield logo. No more boring orange helmet. They're putting Brownie the Elf at the 50-yard line. I didn't know that this character had a name, but I have seen him before. And it is old school, and it's fucking awesome. I'm a big fan of Brownie the Elf.
Best thing the Browns have done in my entire lifetime.
Yep.
That's a better thing that they've ever accomplished than putting Brownie the Elf. And of course, I didn't know it had a name either, but of course the name is Brownie the Elf.
Yeah.
They are so unoriginal at naming things in Cleveland, apparently, that, they were just like, well, what do you want to call it? I don't know. We're the Browns. We're named after a guy and a color. We'll just name the elf after the same guy in color. They could have thought of something a little better, but still badass. I love the new logo. And it's just something different. I mean, my God, Cleveland, thank you for switching it up, because what you've been doing for the last 60 years or however long you've been a franchise has sucked. So thank you for switching it up.
You got the Cleveland Guardians. You got Brownie the Elf. Some new additions to Cleveland. They're changing the sports world over there. So, hey, hats off to Brownie. We wish him the best. And as long as they're running over Brownie's face, we hope good success for the Cleveland Browns.
Hey, wildly off topic, but watch out for the Cleveland Cavaliers this year. This is a way too early, way off topic hot take. Cleveland Cavaliers with Donovan Mitchell. I mean, I thought they were fantastic last year. With Donovan Mitchell, they're going to be fucking lights out. They might be my favorite team in the East. Watch out.
Okay, all right. We'll jot that down right here.
They're gonna put Brownie the Elf.
My back pocket.
They're putting Brownie the Elf at center court for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, he's gonna take Cleveland over. It's just a massive takeover of Brownie the Elf. Well, let's get everybody caught up with a little BVU football update.
It is time.
Another impressive outing for our Wombats. Wombat Nation fired up 2-0 to start off the season. They defeat Albuquerque Technical Institute College University on Saturday, 66-20. Now, they made us sweat. You and I were texting during the game. I mean, we thought for a second, is this going to be it? Their first loss in 34 years. But no, they went in at half. They were actually losing 17-20. It was just a sloppy first half. They were able to turn things around because they did have those 2 turnovers and back-to-back drives that unfortunately one of them was a pick 6 thrown by TJ Rutledge. You don't see that a lot out of him. He's
usually very careful with the ball, so that was surprising.
He's consistently careful, but there were some nerves getting to him in Albuquerque. So, we went into halftime 17-20, losing by 3, and they made some adjustments. They came out looking like the Wombats of old, man. They exploded for 49 unanswered points, and Rutledge, he made up for those mistakes in the first half, finishing with 7 touchdown passes. He completed 30 of his 36 total passes. And number 1 recruit, All-American tight end, Wolfgang Fury, finally gets recognized.
Yeah.
It was his coming out party, man. He was the go-to guy. 13 catches for Wolfgang, 4 of which were for TDs. So welcome to BVU, Wolfgang.
He's one of those guys that when you see him on the field, he just looks like he's a foot taller than everybody, a foot broader than everybody. Just one of those, he almost like Rob Gronkowski, right? Fucking when Gronk was on the field, you're like, holy shit, he's making NFL players look tiny. I get very similar vibes from Wolfgang. A hell of a player. I think he could be easily in the first or second round of the NFL draft with how big guys.
It's 6'7", 240 pounds. He's hard to miss. He's an easy target, and of course, he's going to tower over everybody in Albuquerque. Come on, It's true. It was embarrassing. They were losing at half. I'm glad they got the job done, but it only gets tougher. You know who's up next,
dude. Big game.
Get ready, man. It's the Bay Coast Classic when BVU Wombats. We're going up against Coast Guard, and this one can get heated. This rivalry, we're talking real history, hatred.
Like, all of the armed forces have their thing. Coast Guard never gets enough love, but we know not to sleep on the Coast Guard when it comes to their football program. They can do some big things, and we definitely don't want to overlook them at all.
So don't miss that. That's going to be coming up this Saturday. That's the Bay Coast Classic, and of course you can find that on the Midwest Atlantic Coast Sports Network. What do you think, Josh? Do you want to jump right into the run through of what transpired this week 1 of the NFL season?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, what I'll say just overall. The NFL is just fucking so hard to predict, man. There are so many surprises week in, week out between different teams and players. I thought overall it was such an exciting week. Yeah, let's just dive in. We'll recap everything and they keep it moving.
It was exciting, and you're damn right it was unpredictable. I did not have a good showing overall with my picks. Starting with this one, I had the Falcons getting the win against the Saints, but it was the Saints that came out on top. They got Will Lutz got them the game-winning field goal with 19 seconds left. Falcons led majority of the game, but couldn't stop the Saints in their rally.
Yeah, I didn't think that the Falcons would even hang in that game. So the fact that you had Falcons winning is almost more impressive than the fact that I picked the Saints, and that
Still close.
and that the Saints barely pulled it off when they should have just annihilated this team.
And another one. I think we both agreed on this one, and we were both wrong. It was the Bears taking apart the 49ers in torrential downpour in Chicago. It was flooding all over the field. It was a sight to see. Trey Lance looked absolutely terrible, Josh. I know he's one of your fantasy quarterbacks in one of your leagues, but you might have to consider making a move there if he continues on this streak. He finished the day with 13 completions, 28 attempts, 164 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick.
That game, you gotta just throw it out, though. You gotta throw that out. I was surprised that they didn't just run the ball a million times, just around him. Like, there's no reason that Trey Lance should have thrown the ball 28 times in that game. Makes no sense to me. You really have to lean in with him what he is good at, right? Being big, being a capable runner, running Shanahan's offense, which is the best designed running offense in the league, in my opinion. They have so much they can do out of their backfield. They did lose Eli Mitchell, but he'll be back in a couple months. They still have Deebo Samuels. They got some young guys on their roster that they can bring up. They just have a complicated set, and it makes no sense why you would throw 28 times in that absolute disgusting slop fest on that piece of shit 150-year-old fucking field. Like, thank God they're moving to a new stadium, because that was shit. I don't know if you saw the game or the highlights, but it looked...
I saw the highlights. I was watching my game, so I wasn't...
Equal high water. Like, I'm not gonna... I think it's way too early to write Trey Lance off. But yeah, it certainly was not ideal, right? Like, that is not a good stat line.
It may be too early for the general public, but it's never too early for Brash Sports. We'll write you off at a moment's notice. So, Trey Lance, see you on the unemployment line, my friend. Yeah!
Do you have any accounting experience?
He's going to blow up for week 2. Watch this. The Steelers, another one of my picks that did not go in my favor. They upset the Cincinnati Bengals, the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals, or defending AFC champion, whatever. They beat them 23-20 in overtime. It was a close one. The Bengals did miss their potential game winner. It was only a 29-yard chip shot. And, of course, when you miss it, like... When you miss some field goal within that 30-yard marker for a game winner and you hand it back to your opponent, you've just kissed the game goodbye. They're going to go down. They're going to get the game winner themselves. And overall, Burrow had a rough day. Steelers defense looked stout. They got to him 7 times, Josh. He was brought down behind the line. So just not a great season opener for the Bengals and my boy, Joe Burrow.
Yeah, so it's that. Ooh, can you hear me? Are we still going?
Yeah, I'm listening to you, dude.
Okay, good. All right. So basically piggybacking on what I said back in February and why I think they'll miss the playoffs, their O-line is just too porous, man. Like, poor Joe Burrow's running for his life every single play. That was one pick. The one pick, if you listened to last week, I fucking changed right before we went on. I switched from the Steelers to the Bengals. Big mistake. So I'm not terribly surprised by that outcome. Bengals need to get it together.
This one, not too surprising. The score may catch you off guard, but the Eagles beat the Lions in Detroit 38-35. These teams were putting on a show. I know a lot of the touchdowns for the Lions were towards the end and in that what they consider trash time, but it was still a 3-point deficit in the end. Both defenses, I assume, are completely useless. Again, didn't watch every minute of the game, just caught the highlights, but just going off of the statistics on the offensive side of the ball for both of these teams, didn't look like the defense had any business being out there for either team. The Eagles scored 38 points, Josh, without having to throw a touchdown. When was the last time that happened?
I don't know. That's a really good question. But yeah, this game kind of went how I thought it would. Lions are going to be a tough out for most teams week after week. Like if you're getting plus a decent amount of points for the Lions, take them because they keep games close. They're always in it at the end for whatever reason. They just never fucking win.
God, I hope you're wrong at least for 1 week.
Well, they're favored. They're favored, so you know they're going to lose.
Oh, I'm well aware. Trust me, I know.
Spoil it.
Keeping it, yeah. We got more to come. Don't you worry. Stay tuned. We'll touch on the Lions a little bit more. The Dolphins, they beat the Pats. The lackluster New England Patriots. Surprising to see Bill Belichick get a season opener loss. That's a rare occasion for him, but you know
Really rare.
the Dolphins, they took it behind the woodshed. They beat them 20-7. The Pats just didn't look like they had it together. They looked like they had no preseason and they were just thrown out there with no practice. Again, saw the highlights, but from what I saw, it was ugly. I would be upset and worried if I were a Patriots fan. And Tua, I know you're not a huge fan, not so high on Tua, but he outdueled Mac Jones, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably outduel Mac Jones. I'm not a big fan of the Patriots this year. This game, I couldn't tell if the Dolphins were good or the Patriots were bad. Maybe it's a little bit of both. I don't know, but the Patriots looked really bad. I watched some of this game at the bar before the end of the game. They just looked like they were lost out there. So, yeah, I think they just don't have the skill players. Their defense isn't what it was. They've got Joe Judge and Matt Patricia calling their offense. It makes no sense. I think they could finish toward the bottom of the league, and that is for a Bill Belichick led team to finish maybe with 5 or 6 wins. That's pretty bad. So watch for them to just keep sliding, I think. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
I know. I'm not. I don't know. I wish we could just write them off, but I'm not going to count out the Patriots quite yet. It's a little early for the Pats. Not early for Trey Lance. That's right, Trey Lance. If you're listening to this, you're out of here.
You are forgiving for everyone.
The Patriots, on the other hand, are very much alive. So keep your chin up, boys. It's not over yet. Trey Lance, keep that head down. Don't you look over here. I don't want.
Keep that head down.
Oh my. Okay, well this one was not surprising. Ravens defeat the Jets. Come on, this should have been our parlay favorite. They win 24-9. Flacco didn't look terrible. He looked better than most probably expected. But overall, the Jets they lack that offensive firepower to compete. And today's NFL, they just seem a little boring. They can never really get any exciting plays going. Again, week 1, but if you're a Jets fan, you're saying to yourself, fuck, not again.
Are we pulling the plug on Breece Hall then?
Oh, I know, man. I
think he only got 5 carries. How did he only get 5 carries?
It's not good.
Joe Flacco threw it 50 times or something. Why was he? It doesn't make any sense. What are they doing?
That was the game plan. So whatever. I mean, I'm not counting Breece out. He's, it's his rookie year. He's still, I guess, competing for that starting position. Obviously, with 5 carries, he's not being favored at the moment. But they didn't score many points. They looked flat, so we could see a change. I'm keeping him in my starting lineup. He's not going anywhere just yet. Speaking of starting lineups, Jahan Dotson for the Washington Commanders. That's right. It's the Commander era for the Washington Redskins. And in the Commander era, they get their first victory against the Jaguars, 28-22. Jags made us sweat. Ooh, they made us sweat. And it was really Wentz because he threw back-to-back interceptions. One of them was quickly turned around for a Jaguars touchdown, but he made up for it with two more. Two of those touchdowns going overall out of his four went to Jahan Dotson, our rookie, out of Penn State. He got the go-ahead touchdown for the victory. So, end of the day, Redskins fans, Redskins Nation, happy, and those that consider themselves Commander Nation, also satisfied.
Yeah, I did not watch very much of this game. It wasn't in my peripheral at the bar, but yeah, man, good win for them. I think Trevor Lawrence liked his stat line. Carson Wentz is kind of exactly how you thought he would be. Explosive. He's a playmaker, but he just makes a lot of mistakes. Okay, he is who we thought he is. But yeah, good win for the Commanders and tough one for the Jags.
You know you're going to see bad Carson. You just hope that you get a little bit more good Carson. That's what you're hoping for. But the bad's always going to rear its ugly head at some point in the game. But hey, want to know? Here we go. Speaking of Brownie the Elf, Browns. There goes my surefire pick from last week. Panthers did not look great at home. They let the Browns walk all over them. The scoreline wouldn't indicate that with a 26-24 final, but that's because the Panthers attempted a fourth quarter comeback. I believe it was 17 points they scored.
Yeah.
Out of their 24, and 17 unanswered. And it was player of the day was the kicker for the Browns, Cade York. I hadn't heard of this guy, honestly, until Sunday. He went 4
kicker
for 4.
name, though. Strong kicker name.
Cade York, I like it. Cade York. See why. 4 for 4, 58-yard game winner is what, So we talk about that 29-yarder that was missed by the Bengals. This boy goes out there, 58 yards. We got this. So they seal the deal against the Panthers.
Wasn't he the rookie that they drafted pretty high, maybe 4th or 5th round, and everyone was giving him a hard time? Cade York. I think he was.
Well, again, I honestly had not heard of him, and I did not do enough research leading up to this episode. So thanks for exposing me, Josh. Let's move over to the Colts.
No, just the only thing I'll add to that game, and yeah, send your emails if you want to ever correct anything. If we get a stat wrong or whatever, send your emails to cindy@brashsports.com. And make sure you attach your resume for our accounting department. The only thing I will say on this game is the Panthers, fuck you. What are you doing? You are a travesty. You guys should leave the NFL and go play in Mexico. You cost me $1 million, and I will never forgive you for it.
Yeah,
Moving on.
I think the Browns, real quick, I think they, again, I looked this up earlier, but I think they held the Panthers to a total 53 rushing yards.
I know.
Where's McCaffrey? What's going on?
They weren't feeding him. This one I watched a good amount at the bar. They weren't giving him the ball. They just weren't. It was like they didn't want to use him, and it made no sense. He's the best player on the entire field. Offense, defense, Browns, the best player on the field, and they just weren't feeding him. It made no sense. He looked good when he got it. They just weren't giving it to him. I can't wrap my head around it.
Panthers, that looks like a team that's going to have a rough year this year.
Could be.
Speaking of rough years, both of these teams didn't look great. Probably mirror images of one another. The Colts and the Texans. They get the first tie of the season, week 1. Get that tie out of the way. 2020. Neither of them could take control in overtime, but it was the Colts that rallied in the fourth quarter. But they did miss an opportunity to take the victory. Rodrigo Blankenship missed a 42-yarder in overtime that would have given him the win over the Texans. Poor Blankenship.
They cut his ass right away.
He is the scapegoat. It's Blankenship's fault. Tuesday, they said, "See you later, Blankenship.
Peace out."
Get out of here." So Rodrigo, no more. He's going to quickly find another job, though. He's a solid kicker.
Yeah.
Well, this is your game. You were there. The G-Men did it against the Tennessee Titans. I mean, it was a squeaker. 21-20. It was Saquon Barkley that went off and had a day. He had 168 yards, and he converted the go-ahead two-point conversion.
And had a touchdown.
Giants showing some balls going for that two-point conversion. I like it. I like it.
When you are a team that is so bad that you have nothing to lose, I love plays like this. Drop your nuts on the table and say, we can either fucking do this or we're going to go back to losing, which we were already doing. Who fucking cares? I loved it. Brian Dabble, fucking mad respect for that guy. Loved all of it. Like, leading into the season, liked where his head was at. Love his press conferences. I think we might have found our guy there. Daniel Jones looked pretty good, except for, of course, fucking throwing an awful pick in the red zone. That was so bad, and it was textbook Daniel Jones. But overall, I was very impressed with how we played, how we handle ourselves in big situations, which is something that I'm not used to seeing. Normally, if it's time to make a big play, we shrink. That was not the case on Sunday. Granted, it came down to a missed field goal by the Titans. Like, they came back and should have won that game. But even if we had lost, I would have held my head high on how we played and how we handled ourselves. So, not mad at all. But let me tell you, what a fucking experience. I was so wasted. It was fucking awesome. I didn't get my voice back till yesterday.
Oh, we both talked after that game.
Did we?
Were both. Yeah, I mean, I remember that we talked, but neither of us remember the conversation. It was, we were celebrating in our own rights. It was a fun week one for both of us. Both of our teams got the dub, so we had reason to celebrate.
No shit.
The Packers fans didn't have any reason to celebrate. They looked like shit. They lost to the Vikings. Jefferson is a complete monster. He finished the day with 9 receptions, 184 yards, 2 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers was the other side of the coin. He looked horrible, and he just had this pissy look on his face all day. He finishes with 22 completions out of 34 attempts, only 195 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick. That's not Aaron Rodgers. What's going on?
Well, dude, his receiving core is so bad. And you saw the one rookie, I can't think of his name, but fucking Aaron Rodgers dropped it right here for a touchdown. I mean, basket. There was
I did see that. I did see that.
Loaves of bread overflowing from that basket. And he just fucking dropped it. Hit him right in the midst, dropped it. And from that point forward, I think you could tell Rodgers was like, fuck this, I'm out. Like, I'm just gonna, he's always been that guy, right? He plays well when things are going well. When things are not going well, he is not great. So I think it's going to be a long season for them, man. Long season for them.
Bummer.
Yeah, it is.
My Super Bowl pick not looking too hot.
I didn't even realize that. 0 for 2?
They are 0-2 right now.
Ooh.
Okay, let's move right along here. This was our upset of the week. It turned out really good if you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan. They defeated the Cardinals 44-21. Just a complete ass-whooping in Arizona. Cardinals were never in it. Mahomes was a man possessed. 30 for 30. I mean, these are TJ Rutledge numbers. 30 for 39, 360 yards, 5 touchdowns, no picks. He wasn't sacked once either. I mean, come on, man. That's flawless. Flawless.
Yep. Dude, I never betting against Mahomes in week 1 ever again. I didn't know this, but like he's undefeated in week 1. So, probably should have known that going in before we bet against it.
I know we both just we didn't do any research, but we
gut feeling.
we just had that gut feeling that they were just going to have a disappointing opener, but boy, were we wrong.
Boy, were we wrong.
Looks like the Tyreek Hill subtraction from the Chiefs doesn't make that much of a difference. They're still rolling, and Travis Kelce is all you need. The Chargers, they start off with a win. They got a divisional win against the Vegas Raiders, 24-19. Excuse me. It was their defensive line that had a great day. They got to Carr 5 times, and shout out to the secondary. 3 picks on Derek Carr. Justin Herbert, on the other hand, he had an MVP-like opening week. He's your guy. 26 for 34, 279 yards, 3 TDs, and again, 0 sacks, 0 picks. Perfect.
He's phenomenal. I mean, I think if you could just build a quarterback in a lab, he would come out something like Justin Herbert, and the guy's fucking unreal.
So, those 2 teams, Chiefs and the Chargers, that game is actually starting right now. I looked at the clock, and it's literally kicking off at this very moment. So, good timing.
We gotta hurry.
All right. We're just gonna start rolling through it, everybody. Get ready, because we're gonna be talking really fast. The Bucs beat the Cowboys. They got the 19-3 win. Cowboys' only team did not get a touchdown week 1. Of course, we mentioned it earlier. The story of the day there was Dak's fractured thumb, even though they were getting their ass kicked when that injury occurred. He finished the day 14-29, 134 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 pick, and he was sacked twice. So it was probably best that he injured his thumb and got the hell out of there before they killed him.
That Cowboys offensive line that we thought was the best in the league a couple years ago is in shambles. It is really bad right now, and I think they are in deep trouble moving forward.
And I'm not just saying this as a Redskins fan. I watched this game, and Dak he looked off from the get-go. I mean, they had a beautiful opening drive, but of course couldn't capitalize, and then that ended up being their only points of the game. But then after that, he had open receivers. They were there. The plays were right, and he just made these out-of-character passes that you don't normally see from Dak. So, who knows, man? I mean, there might have been something else going on with him before that thumb injury, but
are you saying he broke his thumb on purpose because he knew that something? Wow. All right, I like this.
Actually, him and Shaq Barrett, they had a little chat, and he said, look, here's what I want you to do. We're going to go like this, okay? Like this. Shaq's like, I got you. I'm going to break the shit out of your thumb. Okay, and then Monday Night Football happened here. Our overwhelming favorite, no chance in hell the Broncos go to Seattle. They're not going to lose in Russell Wilson's coming out party for the Broncos. Oh, they sure did. The Broncos were extremely disappointing. Now, yes, we all know it's difficult to play in Seattle. The 12 gets loud. They're crazy out there. But the Broncos were shooting themselves in the foot every which way. They looked like the Jim Zorn era Redskins with 12 penalties, penalized for 106 yards total. That's insane. They had 2 fumbles back-to-back on the 1-yard line. Again, have we ever seen that before? I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I've never seen it.
Even with the Redskins. And Nathaniel Hackett, your pick for Coach of the Year, he, if I remember correctly from your bold predictions, he opted to go for a 64-yard field goal to win it, even though they had 2 timeouts left. And I believe before he started letting the clock roll, it was like 45 seconds or 50 seconds or something like that.
Here's the situation, because I was losing my mind. I put a lot of money on this game, and they had 45 seconds on the clock with 3 timeouts looking at 4th and 5. You would normally kill the clock right there and go, okay, let's take a breather and think this through. Instead, they ran it all the way down to the 20-second mark, called the timeout, and rushed their field goal kicker on. It made no sense. Why would you ever go out and pay Russell Wilson what you paid him to get him there just so that you could not give him a shot on 4th and 5 to go and win the game for you? It makes no sense. It was some of the worst coaching I'd ever seen in my life. I hope that it's just like, oh, it's his first game he's ever coached and he was got the jitters and I don't know. But man, was that bad. That was some of the maybe the worst game, most frustrating game I've ever watched in my life. I'm still heated about it. Fuck Nathaniel Hackett.
Well, Nathaniel hacked it all right. He hacked it big. So yeah,
there's hack it in the NFL. Can he hack it in the NFL? I say no.
Not an impressive opening game for him as an NFL head coach. Oh my God!
Sorry. Anyway, let's move on.
So that wraps up our week 1 recap. That's where we stand now. Pumped up because my boys got to win, your boys got to win. So can only go flying downhill from here. Let's do a little update on the BRASH Sports League. What do you say? What do you know? What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
My fantasy team, we touched on a little earlier, not too sharp. In fact, one of the lowest scoring teams this week, Rumble Bee. They are 0-1. It was Dank Skins Done that took the dub. I had to quickly make some changes. I had to rebrand, and it has begun. It is a new era. A lot of people were finding Rumble Bee offensive anyway, so
yeah,
for good publicity and to maintain my sponsorship, I decided to rebrand, and we are now officially the proud and loud Bunker Hill Booze Hounds. That's right, baby.
Yep.
They're here, and they're 0-0, okay? Rumblebee's 0-1. Bunker Hill Booze Hounds? We're starting fresh.
Yeah, and I think the most important change you made was now you've got Brownie the Elf on your 50-yard line, which is going to help a lot for your team spirit, team morale, all that stuff.
Had to take a page.
Love to see it.
Had to take a page out of Cleveland's book for that one.
Yeah.
But hey, Old Man Jones, they got their first win against Mayhew's football team, and John Mayhew's, he takes his fantasy seriously. He's
usually a very good player.
He's competing every year. But you had Saquon on your team, and he led the way for you. He finished with 27.4 points. I believe you ended up winning by like pretty comfortable margin from what I remember.
Not really. So, it was a game going into Monday night because he had Jerry Jeudy, who had that long touchdown. He had Javonte Williams. For a while there, I was really nervous that he was going to win because he still had not only did I have Broncos defense, who was trending down with all the points Seattle was putting up.
Oh, wow.
He had Jerry Jeudy catching monster touchdowns, Javonte Williams doing his thing. It was touch and go there, but we pulled it off. We pulled it off 1-0. I'm pretty excited.
Good start for Old Man Jones. Keep it up. And just a little shout out to Eric and Team Pickettsburg. They were the highest scorer of the week in week 1, finishing with 121 points, or 121.32 or 32 points. So Shout out to them. Well done, Team Pickettsburg. So that's our BRASH Sports League minor update. We don't have to get into too much detail. It's still early. A lot of games to go. Yeah. Let's not get carried away.
Yeah, we'll have a separate episode that dives down into each individual matchup.
Stay tuned for BRASH Fantasy quickly following this edition of BRASH Sports.
Oh, Lord. Lord of mercy.
All right. Are you ready?
Let's do the fucking thing.
All right. Well, it is week 2. It's time to dive into our week 2 picks, brought to you by. Actually, no, I don't have a sponsor for this one.
We don't.
We couldn't find anybody. We'll have our picks officially sponsored beginning next episode, or whatever episode we end up making our picks next. But we're still working on that. We want to get this right. We want the sponsor to stick. So we're gonna find something good. But right now it's just BRASH NFL Week 2 picks. I'm sitting at a 6-9 record. Not impressive. Not happy about it. It was an ugly week 1 for me. Probably the worst week 1 I've ever had. 8-7 for Josh. Pretty solid.
Week 1 is tough, dude. Week 1, if you're ever going to give yourself some grace, give yourself some grace on week 1, man. There's so many unexpected surprises coming in. Like, don't give yourself a hard time. Don't beat yourself up, Brandon.
Oh, I won't, because I plan on going 16-0 in week 2, and that's what I'm going to do and completely redeem myself. So let's dive right into it. Again, no particular order here, but just going by the order that we decided on.
We definitely have the same order.
I mean, we have to have this one, the game that's actually underway right now, 10 minutes in, but I haven't looked up the score. Don't you dare. Don't you
I
dare.
was about to. Okay, all right.
No. We gotta first establish who we picked first, and then you can look up the score.
Oh, do you think I'd change it last second? That would be dirty.
You sneaky bastard.
All right, fair enough.
Where did you go? I went with the Chiefs. My logic there is quick turnaround. These Thursday night games, once the season gets going, tend to trend in the home team direction. So for that reason, and really that reason alone, I'm going with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead.
I agree. There's every reason to pick the Chiefs, which is why I went with the Chargers.
Okay, there you go. Back-to-back away teams on Thursday night.
Dude, all right. I can say this now. I literally just got this alert. Justin Herbert in the red zone. Because he's on my fantasy team, I got the alert for him. He's in the red zone, buddy. Watch out. Watch out.
Well,
anyway,
that's it. I'm switching them.
That's all it took.
Oh man, this is a barn burner here. We got the New York Jets going to Cleveland.
Yikes! Let's just say our picks and move on and not talk about it. I'm going with Cleveland.
Okay, I'm going with Cleveland. Sorry, Jets. All right, so we'll go to the Redskins, who are headed to Detroit. And as we mentioned before, the Lions are favored. This is their first time being favored, Josh, in 25 games. Dear God.
Yeah.
Come on now. Give us a little respect, right? I mean, it's got to be a short margin. I guess I really see what the line is. It's probably, what?
It's the line. I think it's 2 points.
What's
it's
the line?
It's 2 points. I think the Lions are favored by 2. I think the Lions win.
Oh, it's now 1. It's showing it 1 now.
Oh, shit. All right, so it's 1 or 2. I like the Lions to win and cover that. I like them, man. I like the Lions this year. It's not a knock against the Redskins, but Carson Wentz on the road. Lions, I think, are going to be tough to beat week in and week out.
I don't know. I feel like the Lions' strength on the offensive side is on the ground, and I think that's where our strength is on the defensive side, is defending against the run. So, hey, I'm not saying we're going to whoop their ass. I'm just saying it's going to be tight. It's going to be close. They're going to make us sweat. But in the end, the Redskins come out 2-0.
Amon St. Brown, I read somewhere today, I think he has tied the NFL record with 7 straight games with 8 catches or more. Amon St. Brown for the Lions. Watch out for that kid, man. He's a rising star. He's very good.
Oh, I'll be keeping an eye out because I'll be glued to the TV 1 o'clock on Sunday Eastern time. You lucky bastard, you get it at noon.
Oh, it's so good.
Damn you. Let's go to a divisional matchup. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh, wait, who did you pick? Sorry, I picked the Redskins, obviously.
Yeah, the Lions. I
don't know. Maybe that one. Yeah, no, I don't know. Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to New Orleans, taking on the Saints. Come on, right? I mean, we're both going with the Bucs here.
New Orleans.
Oh!
In New Orleans.
Going New Orleans.
I'm going with those Saints at home.
Damn.
Dude, I know it's a dumb pick. I bet against the Bucs last week. They burned me. I just think that I like the Saints here at home. I think they split this year with the Bucs, which means I like them each at home. So give me the Saints, man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my thought in this one is, at the end of the day, the Bucs will make more plays. And again, the Falcons got off to a hot start against the Saints in the season opener. They were able to return the favor, come back and get the win with a game-winning field goal. If the Bucs get an early double-digit lead against the Saints, they're not going to be able to recover from that. I don't think the Bucs look that great against the Cowboys, but and Tom Brady actually showed his age a little bit. It was kind of interesting, but they probably should have scored more points. I'm giving the Cowboys defense a little credit there. I think they had some good plays on their side, but at the end of the day, I'm going with the Bucs. I think they'll score more points. So that's how you win games. You score more points than the
Probably
opponent.
a smart pick, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a smart pick.
And now we're going to your G-Men getting their home opener against the Carolina Panthers. There they are again.
Well, let me tell
Who
you
are you
something.
going with? Are you making a surprise pick here, Josh?
The Giants have not been over 500 since 2016. I'm sorry, this year this is the first time that they've gone over 500 since 2016. We're going back under. Carolina's winning this game. The Giants should win this. The Giants should
I know
win
what you're
this, but
doing.
They'll blow it. They'll blow it.
The emotional hedge.
The emotional
There it
hedge.
is.
I'm doing it. Some weeks you bet with your heart. Sometimes you give yourself an emotional hedge. No, I just think that Carolina is a good matchup. I think our run defense is not very good, and I think that Christian McCaffrey just has a day because they underutilized him and went, oh yeah, we lost because we didn't just give it to CMC. So they're going to give it to CMC 100 times, and he's going to have 1,000 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I probably should have gone with the emotional hedge myself in the Skins game, but there's no money on it, so and I honestly believe they're going to get the win in the end. So I'm picking the Giants in this one. I think they are the better team. I mean, here's the thing. The Panthers were so underwhelming in their opener at home against the Browns. I just can't give them any credibility, where the Giants were the opposite. They traveled to Tennessee. They went to Smashville, and they smashed up the Titans. Yes, it was a 1-point victory, and they had to have the balls to go for that 2-point conversion, but they got more guts, and I like guts. So I went with the G-Men getting that win against the Panthers, the traveling Panthers.
One of us is going to make up a lot of ground this week. We've gone opposite on every pick except for Cleveland so far.
Sweet. All right.
Yeah.
And man, that goes against my prediction. I thought we were going to have a majority of these lined up, but that's the beauty of these NFL picks. Let's go. Move right along. Patriots going to Pittsburgh. I have a feeling we're gonna agree. Yeah, there you go. It's
Pittsburgh easy
there.
Pittsburgh easy.
No real point diving into that one, even without TJ Watt. Pittsburgh's a better squad right now. What's up?
Pittsburgh, by the way, just for bettors that are listening to the show, Pittsburgh is getting 2 points in this situation. Dude,
shit.
It makes no sense.
That is surprising.
Why the Steelers would be an underdog here. Bet your life on it. Take every bit of money out of your bank account that you have. Sell your house, sell your car, sell a kidney if you have to. Take all of that money and put it on the Steelers.
I know why it is. It's Trubisky, man. The man gets no respect at all.
Yeah.
And they upset the defending AFC champions.
It makes no sense.
In Cincy. Come on now.
No sense.
So, hey, whatever. We got that one right. Patriots aren't winning in Pittsburgh. We're taking the Steelers. Let's go to Jacksonville. The Jaguars are going to get their home opener against a divisional foe in the Indianapolis Colts. Indy coming off that boring tie. Jacksonville, of course, coming back from Landover, where they got beat by yours truly, the Washington Redskins. And yes, I had a lot to do with it. It was mostly my input that fired up the team and got them that victory. So I'm taking full credit, but I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars at home against the Colts. I think they are from what I saw, there was a lot of promise there. I think Trevor Lawrence looks good. He looks like he's progressing just fine. And they're going to be upset. They're probably feeling like one was stolen from them against the Redskins. So they're going to take out their frustrations on the Indianapolis Colts and get their first win of the season.
All right. 2 in a row where we agree. I think Jacksonville pulls it off here too. And another one where they're getting 3.5 points at home against a team that showed that they're, I don't know, a little lackluster. I like it, man. Divisional games at home. Jacksonville plays the Colts really well. I like them here.
We've got a little streak going, so let's go to the Dolphins in Baltimore game. Dolphins coming off that impressive win against the Patriots, and the Ravens doing what they should have done, going to New York and taking care of the Jets. They are starting off their home opener against Miami. I'm going Baltimore.
Yeah, it's Baltimore all day. Baltimore is very good this year. I've been down on the Dolphins all year. I think I picked against them last week, which was a mistake. But I'm still down on the Dolphins. Give me Baltimore. They're just a very good team. I think they're going to be a hard out in the playoffs this year. Whoever has to fucking go, hopefully they don't have to go into Baltimore to play. Ravens are legit as long as they can stay healthy.
That's when I could see, the Dolphins taking an early lead, an early surprising lead, maybe like 10-0, and all the Ravens fans looking at each other and asking themselves the famous words, "What gives?" So that will turn, the "What gives" chant will begin. It'll get the Ravens fired up. It'll get Ray Lewis out of his chair, and he will be dancing. The Ravens will come out on top. So
yeah, dude.
Let's go to the one. I believe we're on a little roll here, right? That's 3 in a row. So
and I do we're about to make change.
We're about to make it 4 because we're headed to LA, back to whatever the hell the Rams new place is called. What's it called again? SoFi.
Yeah.
SoFi. We're going to SoFi, and so are the Falcons, and they're gonna unfortunately get another loss because I don't see them beating up on the angry LA Rams, and neither do you.
Nope.
We can move right along. Give the Rams the dub. Seattle, coming off of their impressive win against the Broncos at home on Monday night. They're getting a divisional game here against the 49ers in San Francisco. I want to see who you got first in this one. Actually, I think we already talked about it.
Yeah, briefly. I know where you're going with it. I'm taking the 49ers. I think it's a big rebound week. I think last week they're pissed off that they got a shitty game in that shitty weather in that shitty stadium, and they're going to come back firing. Seattle's going to show their true colors. I think emotions were running so high. There's no way Geno Smith plays as well as he did on Monday night. This has 49ers written all over it to me.
Okay, well, hey, if Geno Smith outperforms Trey Lance, you know what I'm going to be saying next episode. So yeah. I'm going with the Seahawks. I think they will get the upset in San Francisco. I was just surprised at how bad the 49ers looked. I know it was terrible conditions, but both teams were playing on the same field, so I don't like that excuse. And I just think it's going to take a while for Lance to learn Kyle Shanahan's offense. It could come down to something as simple as that. And Geno, I think, looked great, especially in the first half.
Oh, yeah.
It got kind of boring there in the second half, but he was impressive and he could carry that offense. So I think they're going to keep that going. Do I think they're going to end up surprising me and finishing over 500? No. But I do think they could start off 2-0. So I'm going Seattle. You're going with the 49ers. Let's go to Dallas. The Bengals headed to Dallas. I mean, make this one quick. We're going with the Bengals.
Bengals, Cooper Rush, and upset.
Come on. All right. Yeah, sorry, Cooper Rush. Not happening. If the Bengals lose that one, they better start panicking. Hit the panic button, Cincy, if you lose to Dallas.
February Josh is looking real smart if the Bengals lose this one.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Hey, February Brandon had the Cowboys finishing under 500, so we're.
It would not help February Brandon if
it would not. It would not. I need the Cowboys. Damn it. But hey, I picked the Bengals because the Bengals are going to win. No chance in hell for the Cowboys. Sorry. Texans going to Denver. I know where you're going to go with this one. You think that the Monday night game was a fluke, don't you, Josh?
Absolutely, I do, Brandon. I think it was a total fluke. I think it's a big rebound game. I think Denver figures it out.
All right. Well, I don't. I think the Texans are going to pull the upset of the week and go into Denver. And Russell Wilson and the Broncos are going to start off 0-2. Nathaniel Hackett's going to have to take a nice long look in the mirror at his big ugly mug and think to himself, who am I?
What am I doing here? What is life?
Why me?
Jesus.
That's all I got for that one. So I got the Texans pulling the upset. Yeah, I like how we have a lot of difference, in our picks here because it will set up for an exciting week to see who's taking the lead. Somebody's going to take a big lead here. Arizona, they're going to Vegas, going against the angry Raiders who lost week 1 to the Chargers. They were competitive, but still they never really felt like the Raiders were in it. But that's okay. Chargers are really good. I'm giving the Raiders the win at home.
Yeah, I'm never picking the Cardinals again. So
that's it. Never again.
I think the Cardinals are good, but I think the Raiders are better. And I think they are going to have some blood in the water and fucking go after it and bring it home.
Raiders it is. Let's go to a big derby in Chicago Bears versus the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay, this is going to be their home opener, correct? Because they were in Minnesota on week 1. So I think Aaron Rodgers is going to knock the cobwebs off and get his season started at Lambeau against the Bears. It's fitting.
Now, one of my favorite Aaron Rodgers moments was against the Bears. He led a big comeback in Soldier Field, and he ran a touchdown in, and he pointed at the crowd and said, "I still fucking own you. I still fucking own you." The guy's got balls, and he loves beating the Bears. He loves playing the Bears.
He does. He owns Chicago.
He owns the entire city of Chicago.
Yeah.
Where we visited last week. It's a piece of shit. It's a hellscape, but he
owns
it. Never going back. No, I think Green Bay bounces back big, and Rodgers has a day, even without the weapons.
They are favored by 10 against the Bears. So, yeah, give us the Packers. All right, 2 Monday night games this week. First one on tap is going to be the Tennessee Titans going to Buffalo. Uh-oh, AFC champion pick. Goodbye.
Man, February Brandon could be taking some fucking hits this week.
It's not looking good.
Holy shit.
I don't think I'm ever going to pick against the Bills unless something crazy happens injury-wise. Hope it doesn't, of course. I'm picking Buffalo at home in front of Bills Mafia. They should wipe the floor with the Titans, right?
I don't think there's a single team this year that I would pick. Not saying that they'll go, 17-0, but I don't think I can pick anyone else against them. They are so good.
Bills also favored by 10.
Yeah.
Against Tennessee. So yeah, it's a relatively easy one. I forgot there is a tiebreaker. I'm gonna have to pull mine up here because I did not write that down.
I didn't even enter it.
And the tiebreaker, which comes down to the final Monday night game, it is the Minnesota Vikings that are headed to Philly to take on the Eagles. I can't tell if I went with my heart or my head here, but it was probably a combination of both. I went with Minnesota getting the victory, starting off 2-0. They are the favorite against Philly, and I just think the reason their offense was able to explode for 38 points was because they were playing a lackluster defense in Detroit. They're going to be brought back to reality against Minnesota. I think their defense is legit. Give me the Vikings.
All right. Yeah, I'm Vikings all day for those exact reasons.
Philly currently favored by 2.
All right. Yeah, I'm Vikings all day. I think they win pretty handily. Love that they're getting points here. Again, that 1-2-3 punch of Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and oh my God, Dalvin Cook is just unbelievably good, man. And Kirk Cousins just gets better every year. I won't trust him in the playoffs this year. I'll have them losing in the first round, but they're solid. So I love them. I've got them 31-24. So 55 total points.
Yeah, I didn't. I just did the total here, and now it's not showing me. Oh, there it is. I have a total. So wait, what's your total?
55.
Oh, I got 54.
Oh, shit.
That's right.
Oh, shit.
I didn't even see how my points from last week turned out, because I got the pick wrong, so I didn't even bother looking. But all right. Well, hey, week 2 picks in the books. No turning back now, especially with one game currently underway.
Nope.
We are going to just run through really fast the recap of last week's parlay.
I just looked at the clock. Holy shit.
No point in going through into detail into this one. Last week in the parlay, we went 3 out of 6. You were better than I, going 2 for 3. I 1 for 3. But things are going to turn around here. We're going to run in to this week's Brash Parlay. But first, we got to pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Brash Sports.
Brash Parlay, brought to you by Brash Sports. Brash Sports, hot takes, cool vibes.
All right. The station has been identified. Let's run through these quickly. We've got 2 favorites, 2 coin flips, and 2 underdogs. Starting with our favorite, I'll just jump in real quick. It's obvious that Cincinnati is going to go into Dallas and bury those fucking Cowboys with Cooper Rush starting. Don't overthink it. Fucking hammer the money line, hammer the spread, hammer everything. Cincinnati minus 335, favorite in the books. Cash it.
I love it. We agree on that. I went with one we agreed with as my favorite as well. I got the Rams taking the victory straight up over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. That's at minus 550. Heavy favorite. I'm playing it safe. Thought I was playing it safe last week. Didn't work out, but I'm taking this one to the bank. We got our favorites this week.
Yeah, no chance either one of those loses. All right, moving on to coin flips. Right now, I'm looking at Baltimore minus 3.5 against Miami. I really like the Ravens this year. I'm really down on the Dolphins. I explained it all earlier. Fucking rewind it if you need more reasons why. Baltimore minus 3.5, minus 110, I believe, added to the parlay.
I'm going back to the Minnesota-Philadelphia game where I have the Vikings winning. Again, I'm going money line all the way. Can't help myself. They're at a plus 107 against the Eagles. So
beautiful.
Hey, Monday night thriller. Give me the Vikings as my coin toss. What do you guys your underdog, Josh?
Underdog, I am going a little bit out on a limb. A pick that both of us like, both that we went for. I've got the Jags at home, plus 160 against the Indianapolis Colts. Again, for all the reasons I said earlier. Let's move on. Rewind if you need to hear it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, and watch it all come down to this. And this, hopefully, my underdog won't be the reason we do not win this, because that would be heartbreaking if we went 5-1 and it was because of me that we lost. But I got the Seahawks as my underdog. Mentioned it earlier, going into San Francisco against the not so impressive San Francisco 49ers and Trey Lance, who has yet to prove himself to Brash Sports. Give me the Seahawks as the underdog at plus 310.
Hey, crazier things have happened. I don't hate that pick at all. Divisional games can always get wonky. Just because I pick San Francisco doesn't mean that I like the odds. I think that's value. So with all those together, we're looking at a girthy one this week, plus 63.65. So $6 is going to pay out $387.92. Money that we certainly need to help spruce things up around here. So let's fucking go.
Let's go. It is time to go. We'd normally be going to our $1 Million Challenge, but unfortunately, we have some news to report. The $1 Million Challenge, it got crushed and buried before it even got started. So, RIP, our friend, our mentor, our everything $1 Million Challenge.
Yep, it was over before it fucking started. What a shame. We're never going to be millionaires now. It sounded so good on paper. 18 picks in a row, just coin flips. You'll double $5 18 times and get $1 million. We couldn't even do it once.
It's all in the parlay now. It's our only hope. We just need to string together a good 10, 15 weeks of parlays, Josh, and we'll have enough money to get ourselves an accounting department. So let's wrap it up. Goodbye, $1 Million Challenge. Hello, NFL Week 2. Special thanks to Lawyers for helping us out and getting episode 3 going. And hey, I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait to hop back in the chair and see how things went.
Let's do it. Hey, by the way, the Chargers are winning 10-0 right now.
Shit. No chance the Chiefs can come back. 10-point deficit.
They're dead. That game's already. I'm not even going to turn it over.
It's over.
You know what? Somali's coming.
All right, buddy. See you next week. Go Skins!
Jungle life, I'm far away from nowhere. On my own, like Tarzan boy. Hide and seek, I play alone where I should cross the forest, monkey business on a sunny afternoon. Jungle life, I'm living in the open. Native beat that carries on. Burning bright, I fought a blood to signal to the sky. I said I wonder, there's a message get to you.
Welcome to the Brash Sports Podcast, brought to you by Lawyers. Do you or someone you know have a minor inconvenience? Do you? God damn it! First sentence.
It's
I
okay.
knew it was
It's
going to
okay.
happen. I called it.
Yep.
All right, here we go. 20 mark. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 3 of the Brash Sports Podcast, brought to you by Lawyers. Do you or someone you know have a minor inconvenience? Do you want to make a
And now you're in your head.
Dude,
You are in
so
your
in
head.
my head. I'm so in my head now. God damn it. Doesn't help that I'm just listening to Metallica and not
Yeah, that's never going to work. You should turn the music off.
take these off.
Take this seriously.
All right, here we go. All right, 55 mark. Welcome to the Brash Sports Podcast, brought to you by Lawyers. Do you or someone you know have a minor inconvenience? Do you want to make a fortune at someone else's expense? Perhaps you have mesothelioma? Mesothelioma. Oh my god. Mesothelioma.
It should just be brought to you by mesothelioma.
Dude, I swear. Oh my god.
Maybe
Okay.
it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be. You know what?
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Cindy, Yin, Yang, guys, we
Holy
need
crap.
10.
Yeah, just cut. Just cut.
That was
Oh
funny.
my god. All right. All right. I got it this time. God damn. Mesothelioma.
Mesothelioma.
Ugh. Mother. All right. Got to get it out. Got to get it out. All right. All right. Here we go. Welcome to see. God damn it.
Oh man, Josh.
Dude. This is the first time it's ever been this bad.
Did you take a bong hit before we got
I
started?
did not, dude. I don't have a hookup here.
Well, quick, go take one.
I know. Maybe that's what I'm missing. Fuck. All right. No, I got it this time for sure.